Yes. Yes. So I'm going to pick up where we left off, sort of. Again, remember, these are two.
Should we open something? So not everyone.
You will make the wall.
Okay.
There it is.
This is the same
No,
one.
that's just me showing you.
The same one from.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So what you? Do we have everybody? Strangely empty.
Anybody?
Okay. Oh my God, it's
What's the same one?
so. Maybe it's just this presentation. So remember. So remember what we did last time? Last time we went over basic digital tools. We talked about Weebly to build a website. We talked about the difference between domains and hosting. We talked about Pixlr for editing photos, and 99 Designs to get a logo, and various other tools to get you started. Now, what you're seeing right now is again 2 sessions spliced together, which can be taken separately. So I'm going to try and do the second part. Bobby? That for a second.
Could you say what page we're on, please?
What
page we are on the
Page we're on?
presentation?
We are going to be on the page where there's a bunch of text that says, become an expert through content.
15.
Thank you.
This is the same package from the last second.
I'm going to do it from here, so I'm sorry because I need to use the computer while we talk. Guys, so the important point when you teach the second half of this, or when you teach it as a separate session, is to say this. We're teaching you some digital tools. You don't have to use all of them. It's sort of a selection of things that you may choose or choose not to use. But the more important thing for the fellows to grasp is the strategy behind it. They need to understand less what exactly to use, but more why we do what we do and how we use it. And so as we do it, we are going to talk about building digital presence and the strategy for engaging people through various contents, various platforms for content sharing. So blogging, microblogging, and so on. So before we do that, I want to ask you an important question. What is the most important thing online, on the web?
Present.
Okay. Present, what else? Just shoot it out.
The connection between the giver to receiver.
Okay.
Presence and staying in the same spot. And once you enter the
Okay, let's move from the strategy. Let's talk about content. Okay, so what kind of content is the most important part?
Video.
Text. Gmail. Okay, what?
Text.
Text.
Photos, video.
Pictures. Pictures.
Contact
Text.
information.
Okay, why do you think the text or video and pictures?
Search engine acquisition.
Exactly. So even when you want to find a video, you find a video by using text. When you want to find a picture, you find a picture using text. So text is really the key feature because it's Googleable. It gives you power that you can be found on Google and on search engines. So the key that you need to focus on, video is important, pictures are important. But if you don't have a good text, people will not find you. So when we talk about text, we talk about becoming, okay, you know what, I'm going to go with this. Text is power, Googleable power. Now our key is to get our viewpoint out to the world and to get a group of people who follow us, to get a following from our target audience, which we can then leverage to make them into volunteers, participants, funders, and so on. The projector is overheating.
Yeah,
this is what person water.
Why don't you just sit here?
Yeah. Welcome.
Don't do anything to avoid doing that
It's
stuff.
first time it's overheating.
No, it's actually the third time when we covered it.
Someone put a burger on it.
Someone really want to know what that is.
Maybe it's
an Argentinian tea that you drink after like a big meal.
Always drunk.
Or just to stay caffeinated.
That's quite simple.
I want to learn more. I want to go back. So our key is, I just want to go back for a second. The point here is, in creating presence, think about less publicity. Think about it more as gathering a group of people around you who want to read what you write. Okay? Does anybody here have any friends that are part of, how does it call it in English, network marketing or Herbalife, magnets, vitamins.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, everybody knows somebody like? What is it like to have a conversation with that person?
Terrible.
You can't.
You can't what?
They keep pushing you.
Anything you
Like-
say, they can put it to the shitty magnets or to the vitamins or to whatever bullshit they're trying to sell. It's incredible.
It's like talking to a vegan.
What?
Vegan.
Vegan?
One of them.
Vegan? Vegan?
Yeah, no. That's my favorite time.
No, okay. Okay, I'm vegetarian, but
And I'm not gay. And,
not that there's anything wrong with that.
not that there's anything.
Okay, go away.
I tried.
I saw your eyes.
And then for the breakfast.
It's hard to bad. So it's like, I don't know, okay, you know what, it's a good example of vegetarians because there are two kinds of vegetarians. The kind that preach, it's like, oh my god, you're eating meat, you're eating that thing, that's parents, that's children. And there's the guys that are just like, okay, I'm not going to eat that and that. So you do not want to be the Herbalife seller. You do not want to be the person who only talks about their venture. And if you right now go to a Facebook page of most social ventures or most businesses, you will notice that the only thing they talk about is themselves. And you think that because we're doing something socially important, it's okay, but it's not. It really isn't. And the point is to be more than just talking about yourself, but to create a stream of content that is relevant and topical and not self-promoting. Okay? So this is what you should write, and now let's talk about how you should write it. Do you understand the logic behind what I'm saying? Okay, so there are two different main platforms. Most of you know this, I know. Sorry if it's repetitive. The first one is, of course, blogs. If you are in a group where people don't know what a blog is, it would be a good time to ask, does anybody know what a blog is? And see how many people raise their hands. Does anybody doesn't know? Awesome. You talk about what a blog is, and you give an example. Now, a blog is the place to write deep thoughts, more content, providing your look at the world so people can read a more detailed, well-punctuated, well-argued version of what you want to say. Now, and successful blog, you can show them a successful blog. Now look, the thing about this presentation, I'm stepping out to the balcony for a second, is using examples. The best examples I can suggest is the ones that you know best. So I'm going to be using a few examples, I'm going to describe them. Feel free to ignore them and use your own. You are savvy enough, smart enough, know enough about online presence to find your favorite blog or your favorite Twitter account. As long as you're making the point of staying relevant to the target audience, it's fine. So please take any example that I'm saying, it's just that, an example, and feel free to make up your own, okay? So we're going to talk about a successful blog, but the most important thing is, next to each blog there should be a microblog. A microblog can be Twitter, it can be a Facebook status, it can be Tumblr, it can be, what's the new one, Pinterest. It can be any one of those, but the key here is to use a two-layered approach. The big, well-argued pieces, lots of content, information, photos, and so on, go on the blog. The microblog should give people the choice. It's like looking at the menu and seeing if you want to see that or not. You're giving people the choice how to engage with you, which opens you up to a larger target audience, because they don't have to read everything you write, but you can read snippets and choose what is interesting to them, right? So the key is to use the two in a combined fashion. You blog the big content things and you microblog the headlines of those things. Now, if you think about it, it works both ways. Don't write really short stuff on your blog, it looks strange. And don't write this huge notes, you know, people who use their Facebook status, you write like this, and you click, keep reading, and then it takes you to a whole other page where it's... This is what Facebook notes are for. Facebook notes are like blogs. Your key is to say, hey, look at my cool note that I wrote, if you'd like to read it, and then a person can choose if they want to read it.
Can you show that?
What Facebook notes look like?
Yeah.
Sure. Can we remind that when we go to Facebook? I'm going to go to talk about Facebook in a moment. Well, towards the end, can you remind me when I talk about Facebook to do that? Awesome. So again, we're talking about writing a constant stream of information on two levels. One level for the more engaged people who already bought into your project, who want to know more, and the shorter level is a microblog on Facebook, on Twitter, and so on, for people who want to choose what they read. This is explaining what Twitter is. Again, some people will not know. You should be saying who doesn't have a Twitter account, who doesn't have a Twitter account.
Everybody.
You will open it by the end of this.
Israelis don't use Twitter.
Israelis don't use Twitter. Okay, I want to step out again for a second for a balcony comment. Twitter never took off in Israel. I can talk, I have an opinion why that happened. It never...
Why?
What?
Yeah, why?
It's not חבר'ה, it's שופוני. זה לא ישראלי. It's not Israeli in its mindset. In my opinion, like it's very.
It's like watch me.
It's like yeah, look at this, and it's not, you don't control who watches, you don't interact with your friends. It's more. I don't think it's very Israeli in the concept. It might take off at some time. I don't know. In the meantime, it didn't. So when you talk to Israelis about it, they tend to turn off their minds and like, okay, Twitter, I don't care. Next. What you should say is this: look. If you're engaging an international audience, you need to know how they think too, so it's important to know. 2, everything that's relevant to Twitter is relevant to Facebook statuses on your Facebook page. So this is the way to get Israeli involved, because most of them, when they hear Twitter, it's like, okay, bullshit, and they don't listen.
Can you get something to show up on Facebook and Twitter?
Yes, you can link
I know you can do Twitter.
You can do it vice versa.
Basically, most Israelis that use Twitter show the tweet on their Facebook status most of the time. Right.
You can do both.
Okay. Basically, this is the Israeli compromise about Twitter.
Oh,
Most of the Israelis that I know use Twitter as a Facebook status. It's combined.
But Twitter also can be a good tool for market analysis or content creation if you're looking for other industries or the same field you're in. So you can follow people that generate a lot of content. Sometimes you can create the content yourself. Sometimes you can just curate from different pieces or collection.
But again, in Israel, we will not have a big readership to that. However, if you work, even if you get donations from an international foundation, it's always good to have a Twitter page, because then, in their publicity effort, they can say, oh, look, I don't know, Shabbat TLV are having a cool event today, you can join. Even that, it gives them a more sense that they can publicize what they're doing.
Doesn't Twitter say how many followers you have?
It does.
Yeah. Isn't it embarrassing that you're working in Israel and you're tweeting and it's like 3 people are watching?
So what happens is, yes and no, it's not so embarrassing, and once you join Twitter and you're a Jewish organization, 100 different people, I guarantee, within 2 weeks are going to follow your Jewish blogs, your Jewish philanthropy. I can give you their names right now. They're going to find you and they're going to say, hey, can you follow me as well? So it's not... Yeah. In the Jewish world, it's not that much of a problem. Other questions about it?
In Twitter,
yeah.
my partner in the exposition of Shoah found people of the government, public people. They decided to collaborate it with our project.
Okay, cool. So it works. It worked. Especially because I know that many people on Twitter, so it's like, it's really easy to win. You can say it's like a good place to start because many Israelis don't use it, so maybe it can be an advantage if you decide to use it. Again, I do not use Twitter, but it's good. It's good. What?
No.
It's good to be updated about things. So this is the point where you're showing different Twitter feeds. I'm going to share 3 of those stories with you. You can, again, if you change it to any good Twitter feeds that you know, the point here should be you're writing for your target audience and not about your product. This should be the point in any conversation.
Again, please, you're writing?
For your target audience, you are not writing about your product. Okay? I have several examples to show you. The first example I want to show you is how to use Twitter for publicity once this slows. Americans, who knows who Cory Booker is?
Cory Booker?
Yes. Yes.
He's he's the mayor. Is it of Jersey City or
New York?
Hoboken?
New York.
He's the one that...
Cory Booker is New York.
New York.
Oh, you are. Yeah. He's in New Jersey. That's all I know.
Okay.
He's a mayor. He's very outspoken. He's actually
Cory Booker
fantastic.
is really like a star of the Democratic Party. He's really rising. He's the mayor of New York, New Jersey, and nobody here is from New York, right?
All right.
It's a real shithole. It's like industrial city, polluted, middle of nowhere, high rates of crime. And he got there like 4 years ago, and he really is like improving the image of the city in many ways. Many new educational initiatives now started way in New York. Really, he's like, it was a bad place, and now it's getting a lot better. And he always tweets. I think actually, like some people say that he staff tweets. By the way that he tweets, I think a lot of it is him. You can see like basically how much he tweets. This is all one day.
How does he have the time to do
People,
that?
he's do that for him.
Let me tell you,
No, people
I'm
do
giving
that
some
for
classes.
him. It's like political people in
I'm giving
Israel.
some classes on that. Each 4 hours of Twitter. So there's different programs you can time. You can write, let's say, 20 tweets and tell the program it's 1 o'clock tweet this, 2 o'clock tweet this.
Right. I want to show something else about it though, because what my focus on the story Cory Booker is publicity and interactivity. Because this, what Lee is suggesting, is good, but you also need to be interactive. And Cory Booker is a clear example of interactivity because he got national media coverage due to this story. Just a really cool story is, Russians, we don't have Russians here. Americans get snowed in and they're really excited about it. Like, they don't clean the streets. Really, like, it's like Jerusalem. It snows like, oh my god, it snows. It snows us every year.
Yeah, but it says in the report a lot like shuts down.
Everything shuts down. Like, it's funny, I work in Russia, right? So it's like, it's minus 28. And the country is functioning like nothing is going on. Like,
Yeah, but to be fair, I was in this. This was a very extreme example.
Right, but I'm just saying. So
the city does function normally with snow and cold.
New York does function normally, but a bunch of the
Newark apparently does.
Well, Newark never functions.
Okay, so what happened was the city was snowed in, and this lady goes on Twitter and she says, my dad, who is 50-something, is snowed in, and he can't get out. Within minutes, Cory Booker tweets back, what's his address? I'm going to be there with a shovel in a couple of, in like half an hour. People see his tweet and respond, I'm going to be there too. So within like an hour, the mayor and 10 volunteers are cleaning up her dad's driveway with a shovel. Which is a beautiful story, but it's cool in the sense of like the interactivity, the connection between the social media presence and real life. Once you make it, that's the piece that brings you publicity. That you act upon something that you've done in social media, act fast, act creatively. He was all over the press. I think like it uplifted his political career hugely, and he's also done a very, very good thing. And it's one of those stories that shows how small the world becomes with the internet and so on. Yes.
Did you know Jeff Palmer?
Yes.
This guy Jeff Palmer who invests a lot of money in like voiceover, like he comes to Tel Aviv a lot, does network events. So he said like a lot of people ask what's the difference between Twitter and Facebook. And he said Facebook is like a gated, well, this is an American thing, like a gated community, or like, explain that in Israel. It's like a closed community with your neighborhood, like a shop, yeah. And Twitter is like the streets. Like anybody can interact with anybody, like anyone is accessible, you can follow, like anybody can talk to anybody.
Well, is that true? How do you find someone?
Oh, I have a beautiful story about that if I can. This is actually one of the coolest things. Did you hear about this? Blake Million? Anybody heard about that?
No.
Blake is a rapper. He's Jewish. He is Jewish. He's like,
oh, this is the.
Did you hear about that?
Yeah.
Somebody called it the day that Twitter won the internet. So Drake,
The day what?
the day Twitter beat the internet, something like that. So Drake emailed something like, the first million is the hardest, which is really like, anyway, so then a billionaire answers him, the first billion is a hell of a lot harder.
No, Mike, another thing I like to do with Twitter is, there's an application called Wisestamp. It's a nice little application for your email. And one of the things you can do with Wisestamp is to attach the last tweets that you tweeted. It just takes. So if it's another little thing of to the email.
I guess that makes you very aware to what you tweet about.
Of course. In the internet world, the key word is I'm always aware. Huh?
Explain again what it does.
What? What's your email address? Let me send you an email and you can show it.
It just attaches your last tweet to your email. So when you write an email, it says your last tweet on the
something for Facebook, I think.
There's a bunch of things. So this is Cory Booker. This is the example you bring about Cory Booker. Another good example is Coca-Cola. Coca-Cola used to tweet really bad. They started tweeting really good. They respond to anything you write within minutes. So it's like somebody said something like, in different languages by the way. Somebody wrote something like, I'm starting a diet, I'm going to quit Coke for a month. And then within 10 minutes, somebody answers Coke says, hey, we're going to miss you, see you again in a month. On that level, they interact to this is clearly somebody's work, but it's really cool because you can write anything about Coca-Cola and within minutes you will get a response in your mind.
I heard someone that wrote lessons about Jen was starting to know how much she's a Twitter person takes.
I hated that Jen before making late, so they actually were sorry for that.
Yeah. I mean, the thing about Twitter, like, the reason Google got big is because you could look up anything and find the history of it, and you can find reviews of a restaurant, but Twitter is what people talk about right now. It's like there's no, if you want to find out, like, hey, is anyone at the hot dog in the country? I don't know what.
But again, I want to take it out of Twitter and frame it as a microblog because you can do the same thing on certain tumblers and you can do the same thing with Facebook statuses. If you're subscribed to CNN, you can see the exact same things on Facebook. So it's true to any microblog. It's more up to date because it's shorter than any blog. So that's
It's just for the non-tweeting people.
How
does Coca-Cola see that guy said he's quitting Coke? Did he hashtag Coca-Cola or did he post it on their...
He hashtag Coca-Cola or...
There's just Coca-Cola. There's also big brands nowadays. There's a lot of programs like Trax, Macau, Mozilla that they monetize the internet. So if anyone that has a public account, Facebook, Twitter, blog, yada yada, they'll find you.
They follow the word cola?
Yes.
Yeah.
You can, by the way,
Brother,
this is a balcony comment. Before you teach it, you should go to Twitter and have an account and try tweeting just to technically understand how it works with hashtag and everything.
Or they monitor soft links or refresh links.
Just a second.
They want to see the competition.
Random question about hashtags. Are people just making up random hashtags or
Yes.
they're just making them
But you
randomly
have
up?
to make sure it's not taken by anybody else.
But,
So,
and then like they just catch on a following
Okay,
and start using
I want to explain.
Can you explain a hashtag?
Just a second. I want to explain two things. There are two different things. I'm going to explain. Can you please? Two different things on Facebook. There hashtag hashtag Sulamit in Hebrew. Hashtag is more about a topic. If you want to write about, let's say, Arab Spring, the Middle East, you can see here Middle East, window seat, a bunch of ale seat, stuff like.
Right, so let's take aisle seat as a good example of that because like, is there now 100 people all using aisle seat?
You don't know. You don't know if it gets popular. It's viral. You can't control it.
Okay.
It gets popular. Once it happens, you can control it. This is on the topic. Before you think you want to make up a hashtag, you need to make sure you need to check that it's not used for something else. It can be really awkward because like it can be used for a totally other cause, and then other causes tweets show up on your topic. Hashtag chooses the topic on which you are tweeting. Okay. The other thing there is the at sign, which is just like Facebook. It's your username. It's your username on Twitter.
Text someone?
If you can, once you, yes, it's like text. Okay. It's like
so what if we decided here?
yeah. Guys.
It's like we're having. Imagine if Naomi got up on the first day and said, if a lot of us are tweeting, or if this was a big conference of 100 people, so maybe someone leading the conference says, by the way, for all the tweeters, the hashtag is PT, President SocialStart.
That's what they do in ROI.
Yep.
Yeah. So everybody who wants to tweet about it adds at the end of their tweet or comment, hashtag PT SocialStart. And then if there are 1,000 people, who knows why, out in the world who want to know what's going on here, they can click on that link, the hashtag, and they can see all the tweets.
Just like the Egyptian revolution had a hashtag, and then everybody in Egypt who tweeted on that issue, you can just search for that hashtag, and you can get constantly updated once somebody goes. Great. Okay, so we understand. This is clear to everybody. Okay. So the example of Coca-Cola is clear.
There's that annoying Donald Duck thing.
I can't stop looking at
Can we
it.
shoot him?
It's effective.
That's tweeting person.
Yeah.
Donald Duck,
You don't hear?
that person. Bad joke, forget about it.
No, but look how
Look
much.
at the gorilla in the room.
But look how much more attention something moving like an moving image when you look at all these like a lot of information. Twitter can be really, really fast and just a stream of information. And basically all these platforms, Twitter, Facebook, Tumblr, it's just think about them as a channel of information and you're a plumber. Sometimes you get the information from someone else, sometimes you produce the information yourself.
Is there some shit there?
Yeah, a lot of it.
Okay, guys, the next example, last example I want to show you is Tony Xie from Zappos. Xie is how this is pronounced, I have no idea why. It's H-S-I-E-H. He's Vietnamese. By the way, do you know why Vietnamese people often share the same name? Just random bit of information. There was an emperor who decided that everybody in his people should have his first name as their last name. So a bunch of families just are named the same, basically. So a bunch of Vietnamese people, like, it's like, imagine everybody's called Kohe, basically. It's really important.
What's Zappos?
Zappos is a shoe site in America. Ladies, does anybody want to share what Zappos is?
It's the greatest website ever.
That's what usually happens, yes.
No, but that's not why.
There's always one.
No, but that's not why it's the greatest website ever. It's the greatest website ever because of their customer service.
Okay, what is
Because
it?
you can call their customer service and ask them anything. As in, I'm calling up, and in theory, you would think that because it sells shoes, you would call them about shoes. But you can actually call their customer support and be like, it's 2 o'clock in the morning. I'm in the middle of Kansas City. Where can I get a pizza? And they have to give you an answer.
This is okay. This is off topic. It's cool, but it's off topic. What they do is they sell shoes. No, it's cool. What they do? I'm sorry. I'm having some trouble. So please. So I'm sorry if I cut you off rudely. I really want to make sure that we finish this. So Zappos sells shoes online, and if you don't like the shoe size or the shoe design, want to try it on, you can send it back for free and get a new one. Whatever. So this is like their shtick.
Yeah, a friend of mine ordered $10,000 worth of shoes, kept them for a few weeks, and returned all of them because he didn't like it. But there's no problem. Well, you're not supposed to. You can. She didn't. She just tried it on. Didn't like
this
it.
guy Tony, he's their CEO. He's very famous for management. They have a cool corporate structure and stuff. But he's also really famous on Twitter. You can see how many followers he has. Wow. And I want you. Let's look for a second. And he says that for every one time that you talk about yourself, you need to provide value 8 times. What does provide value mean? Provide value means they give useful advice, link to a cool article, show a cool video, give value to your target audience. So for every time you talk about yourself, give value 8 times. So let's try something, okay? The day before something is a breakthrough, it's a crazy idea, a quote, okay? This is a security incident email, it's sort of sales, but not exactly. Breathtaking videos of birds flocking. A riddle. One happiness done by more stuff, go on vacation. Scientific study on how to get kids to eat more vegetables. How about a quote by Anne Frank? Live streaming the Zappos family. If money doesn't make you happy, consider time.
So it's just he just puts up the links, right?
Yes. I want to show you something. Just a second. I want you to notice something while I'm showing this. Had a great talk with Ashton Kutcher and Debbie Moore. So, what is the common thread between all these tweets?
They're not about the product.
They're not about the product. What are It's what?
It's about who I am in a way, but not all about me. I'll give you quotes.
It's not even about Tony at all. If you think about Zappos, it's a site that sells shoes online, right? Let's talk about his target audience.
People with less.
Who buys shoes? Honestly, no. Who buys shoes?
Everyone.
Women buy proportionally many more shoes than men, right? So we say that his target audience is women. But if it's an online website that sells at Jim's home, young women, okay, cool. What else about them? If educated, and if they ship at home and are online to buy shoes at home,
They have money.
They have money, or they're stay-at-home moms or raising kids or stuff like that. I'm not saying all of the users are, but this is like the target audience.
This is kind of insulting, but this is what he thinks stay-at-home moms read.
What, guys? Look at it for a second. How to get your kids to eat more vegetables? Answer riddle. Breathtaking video of birds flocking. What happiness done by more stuff? Go on vacation. You should really go. It's like you should.
Just saw a beautiful episode of opera.
Show if you had like a theme, like when I'm not really a Twitter, but when I did join, I joined things that like interested me, and random facts wouldn't really.
Right.
No, but it's random facts that interest stay-at-home moms.
Target audience, exactly.
They're not stay-at-home moms.
It's a fact that
It's kids, it's vacations, because you're with the kids all the time.
Birds.
It's, what's the birds?
Flocking birds.
No,
So, just a second, guys. The point here is this. He's not writing for his product, he's writing for his target audience.
Yeah.
He narrowed down his target audience. Again, target audience is people who you're aiming at. It doesn't necessarily mean that everybody who goes to your event is in your target audience. It means that it's people who you're aiming at, and he's doing it for them. As a result of that, he can get away with writing stuff about Apple every once in a while. But he gets a huge captive audience, 2.5 million people listening to him because he interests them, and he gets to advertise to them. He built a social base, and then he advertises. I think this is a really smart approach. Yes?
I think the perception of Twitter for people who don't use it is like, people take pictures of food, people say, I mean, the first people use Twitter, the first audience is really like people in marketing and like high tech, and it's like, the best reason to be here is because that's where people are. Like, if you want to go find the people, like this is where, like Facebook, it's a community, and there's so many people there that it's just another way to get your stuff out. And if you write something interesting, or like on Facebook, I mean, how many of us now get news from Facebook? Something happens in the news, people link on Facebook. It happens here too. So if you write something and someone retweets you, shares it, it's just.
Can I make this thematic? Okay, balcony comment. As you see, the discussion can really push back to Twitter, and your goal is to pull it from Twitter. It says this is true to every microblogging, and it's not just Twitter; it's true to your Facebook page as well. The key here is because Twitter, yes, Twitter pushes people away. Sometimes, like a lot of people say, okay, this is tweet, I don't have time for this, I don't like it, I don't want to. Your key is to push people. Okay, social media. It's true.
No, I would agree. So I spend more time on Facebook than just to sell like social media. I'm a big fan of social media for myself, and like when I started using Facebook, I didn't use it. I don't want to share it. Who cares what people are doing? And then I realized you can really market yourself, and like it's like when you're it's like back in like 2003 when you had a friend who didn't have a cell phone, who was the last person out on it. Like you're missing out on stuff. You don't find out about things. People don't tell you. Like if you're not using these things, people are advertising whether it's parties or events or fundraisers, whatever. You have to do it because that's where people are. That's where the community is.
It's true, but can I just make one caveat, which is this. If you are a conscientious individual and if you're putting stuff out there, you don't just want to put more noise out there for the sake of putting more noise. Yeah. Right. So a lot of these brands do that, and some of them are doing it because it's their target audience. But I would advise, if you want to be smart about it and you also want to be considerate, don't just put stuff out there for the sake of putting stuff out there. It doesn't help you ultimately. It doesn't help anybody.
Right. And you're right, which is why I'm saying it needs to provide value.
Right.
It needs to be something that provides value. A good advice, a good website, a good idea, stuff like that.
No value. Thing is about Facebook, about I'm not sure how much do you post a day?
Okay, I'm going to Facebook just for a second. The thing about Facebook, again, not fully, I'm going to do, I want to make this a quick note. Most people know how to use this. Several notes. One thing is the pages. A lot of people are stuck in Facebook that was a year ago, where you should open a group for your brand. You shouldn't. You should open a page. Why? Because once you have a page, first of all, Facebook, your group can get erased. And a profile, if you open a profile for somebody who isn't a person, Facebook can erase it. Especially if you piss off somebody, and as Jewish ventures can piss off anti-Semites, all they have to do is report your profile as not being a person, and it can get erased with all your followers with it. A page, it can happen. A page, if you're not a person but an organization, you need to open a page, not a profile. In very short. The other thing is you get insights. You can see this example of the Moscow program page. You can see who's talking about it, how many people are reading what you have to say, and you can track it by.
You have lost 70%.
Yeah, I know, because at lunch night, this is a time with folks. You can see where people are from. I'm going to make it larger, just a second. Where people are from, based on gender, based on age. It's really helping you, and this is insight that you did not get. It's when you click on see all. This is the thing that you can only get if you have a page. Okay, so it's beneficial to get a page, not a group, and not a profile. The second thing is, I'm going to get back to it, but the second thing is it's about setting privacy settings. Because not everything that I write I want everybody else to see, and as you know, I'm hoping that you use this. I just add everybody from work to a list called work, and whenever I publish something, it automatically does not publish it to work. I actually have to remove it so that people from work can see it. Okay? It's very useful in the sense of you don't necessarily, like, if you want to separate from life and work thing, having two profiles, again, it's against Facebook regulations, but nobody would care. But it's such a mess, and people always find your second profile, and then it's like, oh, why do you have two profiles? Which one am I on? Is this am I the professional or the Just make a list of people who are work-related and narrow down whatever you post to them. I'm going to get back to the topic. Hilly, did I answer what you asked? Yes.
Notes.
At the end, oh, notes. The notes are...
No, you said that in the end. Oh, you're doing that.
The notes are, rather than update status, add photo, or ask a question, there is an app called Notes, which comes with every Facebook. Oh, you're going to see an awkward note that I wrote. Wonderful.
Wait, what? How did you get there?
Apps?
Why is it so hot here? Seriously.
Oh, okay,
Come over
it's
here.
not my notes.
The air is blowing over here.
It's not my notes, perfect. So you say write a note, right here. Here.
Oh.
Okay, these are notes from friends. You can write a note, and then it's like, this is like basically a blog post within Facebook. You can also...
Where do you see it, though?
And you can...
In your status, you can link to it. And then
Yeah, okay, let's say I wrote a note.
Right, you know
Like, Marnie has no idea what her notes are. She'll never see
I'll
my
give you an
note.
example, okay? Look at this. This is an example note. Okay, I'm going to make it just for work to see it. Okay? I'm going to customize it and make sure that only specific people list, only work can see it. Okay? This is an example note. You say publish, right?
You can also tag people so they see it on their...
Right, you can tag it. Title body, blah, 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 blah. Publish. So you have a note. Now, first of all, this is already shared on my profile, right? If people are following me, all my work list, Benji, I believe I added some of you on Facebook, I believe they can see it. See, it's updated, it's on people's newsfeed. And then, if they want to continue reading, they can do it. The other thing you can do is you can take the address of this, copy it, and then you can go to your profile and say, hey, did you read my note? And just paste it there.
When you do that, then I think everybody can read the link to like this.
Right, again, you know, they need to
Then
customize
it.
it. Right, you need to customize it.
So if you post it with this customization,
yeah.
Okay, so your friend will see the status,
but they will
won't
not
be able to see
yes.
the working
Yes.
name.
Facebook remembers your last, the last
Always.
custom things you did.
So if you leave it on
Okay.
just me.
Are we good to understand how notes work? I'm going to erase that note now.
Yeah. No, leave it. Let's see what your friends say.
No, it's okay.
Your friends are going to see it only once.
Wonderful. Okay, cool. So that's Facebook. Now, there's a video on Facebook here. I'm not specifically not putting it on large screen because it can take an hour and people get stuck. But there's a cool video here. I will skip it purely for the purpose of time. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Wonderful. So I want to show you a few cool things about tracking your influence. So we said, if you remember, we talked on Monday about posting bit.ly links instead of regular links, so you can track how many people clicked on it, right? Remember that?
Yeah.
And the other thing we can do is use Cloud. And we touched on that just a bit. I specifically didn't log in to show you that it interacts with Facebook. What Cloud does is it measures your social influence, and I want to explain how. What?
It can be very
it's so
influential, yeah.
What, Cloud?
Yeah.
Why? Nobody follows you? Sorry. We can compare my, you know what, I'm going to insult them. Okay, I want to explain what Cloud is, guys. So let's say you put a status on Facebook. I'm now teaching an ROI present session. Let's say this is my status on Facebook, and you like it, and you like it, and you share it, right? The OA decides not to share it, but to say something, hey, I'm attending an ROI present session. He didn't mention my name. He didn't tag me, he didn't share it, and he didn't like. If I were using Facebook normally, I would have no way to measure that post, although I did influence the all. Cloud has an algorithm that does measure it, which is why it's beneficial. Do you understand what I mean?
Can you put cloud in any website?
Cloud? What do you mean? No, it tracks social networks. It takes Google Plus and Twitter.
Yeah, but where would I see my influence?
You see your influence only on social networks. Only on the networks that you
So you have to go to the website cloud.com.
Yeah.
Oh, I have to go on the website?
Yeah. You go to
So I can't transfer the cloud because, do you know Dow Social Innovation?
People will be able to see.
Wait, I understand something. Just a second.
They have a cloud inside their website.
Yes. Oh, you can't put it's here. You can share your cloud status.
Oh, you can?
Yes. You can share it, but you can't.
Do I have to use the Facebook application?
Please, just a second. I want to explain what cloud is, and we'll go back. You guys are way too advanced. Okay, so cloud measures. Why is it good for? I want to explain. First of all, this is important because why is it good for? Is a really good question that people who aren't internet savvy are asking themselves, why the hell do I need it? The main thing is to see a trend, because it shows you a trend and you can see if whatever you're doing on social media, you're doing it right or not. Because you can see what happened on the internet, like here, I must have done something, or I didn't write enough, or I wrote something that people like, not so cool, and here, I must have written something really good, because people started following me more.
Can you see what that thing was?
You can go back to Facebook, but it shows you the date.
Oh. What's the maximum score? 100?
The maximum score is 100.
Okay.
But like Barack Obama has a 90. It's not like really. I think Justin Bieber is the only one. I'm not kidding.
So it's wrong for everybody.
Okay, the true reach, just a second, the true reach shows how many people are reading it. Look, people are starting to ignore me more and more, which means, why is true reach important? Why is true reach important? Here's why. You have a number of Facebook friends. You can in no way know how many of them didn't click hi to you. That's one. On the other hand, when you post, let's say, something, sometimes you see a friend posted on somebody else's wall and it shows on your right-hand side of the newsfeed. So you're exposed to that friend's friend, right? So that helps you measure those kind of things. It gives you sort of an estimation of how many people are actually reading what you write. The amplification is how many times you retweeted or how much you influence on other people. And the network is the power, the impact of your influence on the network.
Can I ask you a question?
Just a second, I want to finish how you use cloud and then I'll get back to it. I'm sorry, I really want to finish it. The second thing that exists is cloud style. Cloud style sort of helps frame you exactly where you are on this matrix that's like from casual posting to consistency. From broad to focused, from creating to sharing. And one last thing, if you have a competition, Leo, can I?
No.
No? Okay. If you have a competition, Veggie, can I?
Veggie?
Yeah, Veggie.
Veggie?
Oh, see, Veggie is better than I. This is silly, yes. But you can have a competition, you can compare yourself to another venture.
Oh, that's so funny.
It's so ridiculous.
You can see which topics, if there is a shared topic, see we both care about politics in Israel.
How does it figure that out? Just by
It sees by what you post, yeah.
It's just obvious, no?
You're into North Korea.
Yeah, no, you have to, it looks into your face, you don't have to.
He's into North Korea.
Okay, just a second.
Can you use information about the don't have one?
No. Yes, Kaylee, I've been hoping you.
So I just wanted to know, like, if you join, if it infringes your privacy in any way, and if so.
No, it's a computer it's an algorithm that goes through it. They have a privacy they have a privacy policy and stuff like that. Look, think about it this way. There's about, like, let's say 200,000 people who use cloud, right? I don't think that the person goes through every post out there and stuff like that. If you want to see something that infringes privacy, I'm going to get to it soon.
So this will work for anybody, no matter whether they sign up for cloud.
No, this will work only for people who sign up for cloud. And public figures. Like for Obama, for instance, I'm not sure if you sign up to cloud, but you can. Just a second.
I guess it does.
Maybe somebody signed for him.
Maybe somebody signed for him. Okay, trust me that it works. Okay?
You can order free business cards from them.
Right. Oh, there it is. Barack Obama is 94.
Of course he does.
But Barack Hussein Obama.
And there's also Barack Hussein Obama and Aaron.
Just a second, Barack Hussein Obama is a joking account. It's like a...
How much fake Steve Jobs?
What?
You stop fake Steve Jobs. Facebook status.
Fake Steve Jobs.
Oh, fake Steve Jobs, yeah. Justin Bieber? What? No, I spelled it.
Anyways,
maybe I spelled it. Whatever.
Kaylee's
Okay,
That social innovation project.
Maybe.
Every time you put a project in the competition, you have a cloud.
Okay.
And I hate it. I just can't know anymore.
Hey! Shh. If you can hear me, clap on. Not in top.
It was fun.
Guys, Haley. Haley, okay. Hi. Okay, two more things. Several more things. One other thing that helps you control your social media is Posters. Posters is a website. Does anybody use Posters? Okay. In a way it's great, in other ways it's not great. What?
Ready the open Facebook.
Yeah, it's like I stopped using you after Facebook.
Okay, Posters. Posters helps you link numerous social media accounts. Let's say Twitter, Facebook, Flickr, YouTube, and so on. And you can, for instance, snap a photo on your iPhone, and it automatically posts it to all the accounts at the same time. So it saves you time. Rather than update each of them separately, it saves you time and helps you update all of them at once. This is the good part. Can somebody think of the bad part?
You might want something to be in one place.
Okay, you might want something to be in one place and not the other. Okay, what else?
Well, also the way that you frame, the way that you're writing something is not appropriate on Facebook, but it's more appropriate on Twitter.
Think about a more like key problem to it.
Privacy.
What? No, less privacy. Imagine if you like somebody on Twitter and on Facebook and on Flickr. You're getting the same thing 3 times. At a certain point, it's annoying. At a certain point, it gets really, really annoying. So my advice for posters is, it's really a useful tool if you have an event. If you have a launch event for your thing, now's the time to do the picture and just blast it everywhere. If you're eating lunch in a cool place, this is not the time to use posters. No, just think about it as a tool that's out there, especially in a setting where you're very, very busy, you have tons of things to do, you don't have time to update different things. Just put it through posters. Otherwise, I would not suggest using it. Okay? Are we good on that?
Yeah. Here's a question. If somebody's subscribing to your Facebook account, your Twitter account, your Tumblr account, your, just keep on going and going. First of all, don't you just think that, whether it's good or bad, I don't know, but I'm not making a judgment there, but they're kind of expecting and asking for, not always, but most of the same content from just multiple sources.
Right, but you're assuming that people are perfectly logical when they do things.
No, I never assume that.
Well, no, I'm just thinking that like sometimes like, oh, he's on Flickr too, I'll add him, and you forget that you only have him on Twitter or whatever.
No, but I'm just saying, like, it's also, I have to say, it's their fault too. Because
it is their fault too.
It's kind of silly.
At the end of the day, this is your venture.
No, I don't disagree.
To the high list.
But there's only so much time one has to differentiate. And
right.
Anyway, that's all.
I totally agree with you. Which is why I mentioned it as a key issue.
Yeah.
Okay, this is a workshop where we establish presence. If we were to unite the two things, then we would do a weekly page, a Woofy survey, and so on. So this is sort of the first part of the presentation, where you talk about how you talk about yourself, right? The second part is, I'm sorry I'm not enlarging it. This computer sucks, so I'm sorry this is in small package like this.
But can I ask one question about what we just did?
Yes.
Just from that slide. So on this fictional web page we've just created,
right?
And we've created we've created content by text. We've created pictures, videos, and then we've created a blog that somehow is going to be factored into this website. Yes.
There's a blog on Wiggly. Inside Wiggly, you can add a blog.
Okay, so you're adding the blog, and then.
But you don't have.
Wait, because I want to.
But there's no blog in the assignment. You don't have to do a blog.
Right. No, but I'm just thinking about it from the perspective of some of the people we're teaching. We then advocate for them to create a blog, in some way insert that blog into the website, and inside that blog there's the mini blog.
No, the mini blog is not inside the blog. The mini blog. Exactly. Whenever you put something in your blog, there are two levels. The long form, which is the blog, and the short form, which is Twitter or Facebook or Tumblr or anything that's short and to the point. Okay? So the key is to do...
And that's on the side of the blog.
That's on the side of the blog, that's in social media. It's not physically in the website. Okay? You're linking back to the website. Yes?
I think blog is not mandatory. It's like some
it's
sort
not
of
mandatory.
site.
It's not mandatory. We'll get to it. We'll get to it in the end. Another thing you need to think about before you get a blog is a commitment. If you're not willing to commit to a minimum of 1 post a week.
A week?
Then, yes.
If once a month is not good enough?
I would say no. If you're not willing to commit to at least one post a week, Haley has a discount
it's just
once every 2 weeks.
new standards. What
Okay.
people expect.
If you're not willing to commit to that, don't start a blog. Because it looks much worse if you have a blog and you're like, hey, this guy didn't update in a month. Is he still around? Is he still working on it? It gives it much worse. It erases all the benefits and makes detriment to project.
But surely it's better to blog once a month on real things that interest people than every week on things that might be boring.
If you don't have enough interesting things to write once every
Get
2 weeks,
more.
You should not be writing a blog.
You should talk in mornings, you can make everything interesting.
You should be writing Facebook notes.
But that was funny.
You should be writing Facebook notes once in a while, and then this is like, when you have something on to say, just put it in a Facebook note and it's good.
Do you concur?
Okay.
You concur?
A blog?
Yeah, but...
Everything is in one place, you can just go and read everything you had to say. Like, if somebody's like, wow, this is really cool, I want to read what this guy is doing about here, you can just... No, but you need to go to one note. Then what is the next note? So you will click it.
What about writing on someone else's blog?
Just a second. What?
Like, I can't think of an example now, but you have organizations that like take sources.
It's something else. Again, we're talking about persons. We're not talking about personal blogs right now. We're talking about blogs for your venture, which is a totally different thing. Ventures don't usually write another venture's blog.
No, like if you have, I'm just thinking of something. Say myself.
Right.
The first thing. Then you could blog on the myself blog, but they're different ventures that are part of that.
Right, which is fine. Again, this is not your blog. I'm talking about specifically about managing your own blog. What? What? No. Can we send to that? Okay. The next thing that we're going to talk about, please, is knowing the ecosystem. So it's not just important. Can somebody turn the air conditioner on?
It's on.
It's on.
Do you want to open the door?
It's a 21. Put it on 60.
It's very nice over here.
You know the numbers are fictional. It's not really going to get you to just much numbers. Okay, back to the no ecosystem. Okay. Just like you don't talk in a crowded place about without knowing who else is there in, you need to understand what else happens in your field online. This is very relevant, especially on Facebook page, because you don't want. Okay, I'll give you a perfect example. I've seen this morning, right? Shaquille O'Neal has shared something. Just a second.
Yeah.
Because you're friends.
Where's his page? There it is. That was only 2 followers. So maybe it's not. There it is. Yeah. So he's like, today he said, it's just very, very ridiculous. Remember this, which was popular like 4 weeks ago and it was a fraud? So today he shared it. Okay, moving on. What movie is this from?
That's so embarrassing.
It's awkward. You don't want to look ridiculous and have your readers like...
Oh wow, that's incredible!
What?
No, it's fake.
But his point was also everyone else shared this like 3 weeks ago.
And then it was fake.
But check out what Shaquille, he stole this image and didn't share the original. You don't know who the source, because I've seen it like...
What's the real number?
The real number is October 26th. But again, you have 3 years till you have autographed. It was 30 years in the future and 30 years in the past.
Will Marty still be alive?
I don't know if the body of Parkinson's, yes. Anyway. It's okay, my grandfather had it, like, I have a lot of things.
Maybe I'm looking at people like...
So, going back, guys, please. So, the point I'm trying to make is, you want to stay relevant. You don't want to look ridiculous and post something that's been debunked or stuff like that, and you need to follow on recent trends in whatever is happening. So we have several advice how to do that. Some of this may sound common, some of it may be new to you. The first thing is finding bloggers, finding relevant bloggers who speak about the issues that your venture is in or about. You can do it for Google Blogs. You just type in anything you want. For instance, let's write present tense. I'm just saying, you can see different blogs about present tense. Don't forget the blog. Like Angelo. What are you doing?
Nice.
Your first what's up with your present tense? This is what they see. So there's a bunch of them. You can do it on any topics. So for instance, I don't know, she killed.
This is the hashtag, basically?
No, it's not the hashtag. This is not a hashtag. This is blogs. They write about different topics, and it searches for blogs based on the topic you search.
It's the topic, not the actual word?
No, it's the topic. Okay, we go to Google Blog Search. Helps you find relevant bloggers. You can do it by date, you can do it by relevance, you can read only the posts posted in the last 24 hours. Right? Are we good on that?
Yeah.
Awesome. Same thing, just for Twitter. It's called WeFollow. This is very relevant, especially to Israelis, because like if you tell them open a Twitter account, it's like, okay, who do I follow now? Huh. So WeFollow is a directory of people. First of all, if you tweet, you should be on this directory. You should add yourself. It's a directory of people based on an issue. So for instance, you're looking for people writing about Israel.
Kim Kardashian.
So there are only 684 people from Israel?
No. It's lists just the most influential ones. You can see who is the most influential ones, who tweets the most and who gets retweeted the most. You can also see who has the most followers.
Who?
Okay, correspondents, I don't know about who.
Who are those people?
What?
Who are those people?
People on Twitter.
Do these, like Twitter or WeFollow, show how many people from a country are linked to the system?
No.
No.
JTA News, Julicious, Ahuva, Miriam Schwab, wow. She's a steering committee member. And former mentor. She's number 8, this is impressive.
Who?
Miriam Schwab.
Who? Assad's wife? What?
Okay.
What do you search for? Israel.
Israel, right? You can do it on anything.
Hi, Jewish agency is rocking.
Yeah, even though it's
But speaking this separates between English and Hebrew.
It does. It's not. It doesn't work as well for Hebrew. It doesn't work at all for Hebrew.
So
Actually.
that's why.
But it's still a good idea.
Yeah.
Oh, look again. The number of people who tweet in Hebrew is tiny. It's really.
The number of people that.
You're a fraction of
The next thing, there is Hootsuite. I'm not going to go over it. It's a cool tool to monitor different Twitter feeds at once. I'm not going to go over it. It's just called Hootsuite. I suggest that you try and play with it just a bit. It helps you monitor different social networks in the constant feed of new things.
And you can also schedule things in advance.
Right. This is one
No,
of the
when you
things.
actually live your life.
I know.
Okay.
Yeah, you.
Okay. Now again, balcony comment. I'm stepping back. Remember, this is a question that gets asked every class. Remember this. What I said at the beginning. This is like a buffet. This is like you need to know your options, and then you need to choose and pick what's right for you and what's right not for you. The key here is for you to know all the options so you can make the right choice. You're not supposed to do everything at once. Nobody ever does everything at once, but you need to know that it's out there so you can see that if it's right for your venture.
One thing, even if you don't want to be tweeting nonstop, just know that you can reach certain people out there. If there's, I don't know, maybe there's a Knesset member tweeting or there's a celebrity, you can now get in touch with them directly, which could never happen 5 years ago.
Do you have any funds?
Okay, guys, I have 13 more minutes.
What is this?
I really need to finish this. Please allow me to finish this.
What's Hootsuite?
Hootsuite is a stream of different social networks at one place: Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. I would suggest you play with it. All of these websites are in there. They are. Probably did, yeah. 2 more things that I can suggest. RSS readers. Does anybody know how to use RSS readers? Everybody knows? Does anybody know? Okay, cool. Awesome. What I suggest is using Google Reader. It's an application that you have inside of Google. What RSS does is, I'll give you an example of what it's useful for. Who reads more than one newspaper when they wake up? Okay, what do you read?
The paper of Argentina.
Which one?
La Nación.
La Nación.
La Capital. Y Clarín.
Okay. So 3 newspapers. Now, do you read all the newspapers, or are you focused on just the news, just the sports, just the news? Okay. So ideally, in her morning schedule, she wakes up, she opens one website, skips over the gossip and then all the bullshit that there is in the
No, you
newspaper.
read actual newspapers.
No, I mean, okay. Okay, let's use
You're very old school. Very old school.
Think about those trees.
Just a second, back. So, reads the news in one. Then she goes to another website, does the same process in the other one, and then she goes to the third website, does the same process in the third one. What if I could tell you that you can, if you know this, but again, I'm talking as if people don't know what RSS is, and some people don't. And what if I could tell you can just have all those news delivered into one place? You log into one website and you have all that thing in chronological order. This is what RSS Reader does. It's as if somebody here would cut off all the relevant things in your newspaper and read it to you every day. Let's say you read the Israel Idiot and Haaretz. Somebody would cut off everything that's relevant. What?
And the Post.
And the Post? Jerusalem Post?
No.
The Post?
Okay,
let's say somebody cuts everything and brings it to your door, collated just in the part of the newspaper that you like to read. This is what RSS Reader does. Most websites, almost any website of any major newspaper have RSS. It looks like the icon that's up there. It's hard to see. We're going to find it in a moment. I'm going to prove that it works for everybody by going to an Argentinian newspaper that, of which I will understand no word. What's the address?
La Nación.
The nation.
Okay, so do you see this icon over here? I'm going to zoom in on this specifically just so that everybody can see it. Oh my god. This is an RSS feed.
Did 4 people die?
Okay, this is very relevant right now. This is the RSS feed for the entire newspaper, probably? Yes. Or? Yes. No. Okay, this is RSS. Okay, please look at this. Últimas noticias, política, economía, and stuff like that. Let's say I'm only interested in politics. I copy this part, okay? I'm copying this thing. I'm going to Google Reader, which is at reader.google.com. Did I leave it? I did leave it.
That's your account, right? Google Reader.
Yeah.
Okay.
It connects to your Google account. And the second I click subscribe, I paste the link in there. And I only get the updates, just the news, just from the politics section of La Nación, right there. So every morning I can log in, I click all items, and anything that's recent, I just see it, okay? It's a very convenient way if you read several different newspapers, several different news sources. And if you don't intend to use it in your personal life, here's how you use it for your venture. If there's a blog or a site that, for instance, Energy, an Israeli newspaper, has a section about social entrepreneurship or about entrepreneurship in general. Just put it in your RSS reader. Whenever you have some free time and you're bored and there's nothing new on Facebook, log in and see if there's anything new. You don't have to constantly, like you asked, go and read and follow them on Facebook and follow them. Just once you have free time, RSS reader keeps it all in one place.
So what if they don't have an RSS reader?
All news websites have an RSS reader.
We'll find it on Haaretz.
Haaretz, you can do, it's in the bottom. It's upside down. Look for RSS. You know what? I'm just going to do this. RSS. There it is.
Now, it will put every political segment from every different paper that you wanted in RSS.
Yes, every paper that you have.
At the same Google Reader. Right?
Yes, at the same place. Okay?
Can I do it in my website RSS automatically? I mean,
put it in your website. Okay, this is advanced. I'm sorry, I'm not going to cover this today, but you can add it. It's called FeedBurner. That's one of the major things that comes to it. And it does automatically for a website. If you blog through WordPress or Blogger or even through Weebly, the RSS is built in. You don't have to do anything, it's already done.
The burner is.
No, the RSS.
You've got the RSS feature already.
It's already there.
Okay, so I can put RSS from other sites in my Weebly site.
No.
Speak about it.
Okay, let's speak about this later.
Sorry.
Good. Two last things that I want to show you, and then I'll leave you alone. The first thing is Google Alerts. Do you guys use Google Alerts? Yes.
No.
No. Great. The short one is Google Alerts. If you repeatedly search the same thing over and over on Google, for instance, your name or the name of your venture.
Yeah, Google our name.
We will do that soon. You can have all the new results delivered automatically to your mailbox through Google Alerts. So you just write a search query that say, I'm interested in finding things about myself.
Can you make things go higher?
But this is the one no new results. No, this is SEO. This is what venture was talking. You can say only the best results, any new results. You can get that email once a day, Bobby, please.
Sorry, it's not full.
You can get that email once a week, and so on. You can set as often as you like to get it, and every time somebody writes or a new result appears on Google about you, it will go there.
It's relevant for Google Scholar as well.
Wait, so
No.
It's like, can I give you an example? Like for Shabbat TLB. If you set up a Googler for Shabbat TLB, it could be that someone writes an article about it, like a Jewish newspaper in America, like you'll never know. If you have this, assuming it goes online, you'll get an email. It's like having, it's your press pages.
Yes. It works in, this is a good question, does it work in Hebrew? It works, it's just like Google in America. It's regular Google, anything that shows up from Google shows up.
I want to know how, if something's at the end of the page, I can bring it to a
You asked
page.
the question and said...
No, I'm saying, yeah, you said that it's not what you're talking about.
It's not, we're not going to be talking about this. This is called search engine optimization.
Okay.
And there are companies who do it.
Oh, you have to be a
It's a
company
whole
to do
other
it?
topic. It's more complex than this.
Okay.
What? Okay, can we please...
Forget it.
I'm sorry. I have 5 minutes. I really want to show you something important. The last thing that I want to show you is called GIST. Has anybody heard of GIST?
No.
Yes. Bobby is bored at my session.
No,
Don't worry, he's helping me. He's helping me.
No, I was helping.
No, you said like, yes. Did you hear about this?
About Jest?
Yeah.
I don't use Jest.
Okay.
I don't use it.
What do you use?
What is it?
Just a second, I will show you. Prepare to be freaked out. Guys, prepare to be freaked out. This connects to your Google account.
Okay.
Now what it does is, I'm just going to, I have already signed up. So this automatically connects to your Google account, and everybody who you chat with or who you email with,
It's not your Google account.
it goes, what?
It's not your Google account.
It is a Google account. It's a Google Apps account. Anybody who you chat with or email with, it automatically gathers all the public information about them online and puts it in one place. So for instance, Gafar emails me and says, hey, remember we went like 2 years ago with this conference? I really have a good idea for a presentation. How is that person? I don't remember. So instead of going to Google and like file, blah, 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 I can go here and all the results will be delivered in a convenient form. Let's try somebody you know.
Wait, is it long term?
Yeah. It's constantly updated, yes.
Oh.
Let's try it. I will show you in a moment. Let's try Alan Horowitz, who we've all met, right?
Oh, yeah.
So, Alan Horowitz. So this is like sort of a personal page of Alan Horowitz that they gather the information for. You can see his email address, and you can see every recent piece of news written about him, or his recent tweets automatically here.
But you can't see his Facebook because you're not friends, or can
We
you
are
see?
friends, it doesn't log into Facebook. It also automatically search, like it has his MySpace, it has his Twitter. These are 2 Twitter accounts that are both his, so it actually tracked them and found them. Flickr, Picasa, Flickr, everything is here.
What does it confirm? What do you confirm?
Sometimes it finds things that are not accurate.
Okay.
If I'm sure that it is him, like for instance this I know that it's him, I click confirm and now they're sure that it's him. Now it will get me results from Tumblr as well.
Okay.
See, these are the Nogoli announcing our community president's partnership, JNets. See, this is like all the recent updates already in one page. The other thing that it has, all your recent correspondence, who else knows him, photos.
This is scary.
It's all public anywhere.
Right.
Can I ask a question? That's
Just a second.
okay.
It's all public knowledge. It just gathers everything in one place. The best thing is, if any of you would like to volunteer, I want to try your names on it. The key here is, none of this is secret. It's all public information that appears about you online. It's just gathered conveniently in one place. And the key here to understand is, if you do not want that information about you to be online, don't put it there.
And this is stuff you can find out anyway. It's just instead of making it on Facebook, make it Twitter.
Now that you can have
the fact that it just puts everything.
Can I say something? You can never fully erase something online. Ever, 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 ever. If you don't want something online, don't put it in.
Okay, I have another question. I have another question. What if somebody's searching for me, right? Let's say in Israel. So you can write my name in English, and you can write my name in Hebrew, but you can write it like 3,000, like 3 ways. So how will he'll only get part of the information? Right. Okay.
So write in Hebrew.
Which is why this is linked to the email, which is easier to follow. He sees which one is associated with which name, and you can find it. Does anybody would like to see what comes up when we search?
This will be okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Aviv,
Gil.
okay, give me the email. I think it does by email. Just a second. Add contact.
I'll show you that.
Now, if you have a professional account, you can find a privilege. Probably, if you have a different professional account, let's see your profile. Now, this gets better with time because it like searches and continues to find. Oh, there's a photo already. You do not have Twitter. It's not very effective because the name is too. So, but this is your Facebook probably. Are you related to Bluetooth?
Blue AI, that's the app I just told you about. The app company,
What if you have
iPhone
two
app company.
different email addresses?
What?
What if you have two different email addresses?
Again, this tracks just the one email address, but at some point it can here in suggestions find the other one.
Ah.
Since you're not friends, you're basically, you can see all.
No, it's not. You don't have to be friends with anybody. This finds all information online. He doesn't have much information online. That's what it says.
True.
Can I find stuff?
Can you find somebody who tweets mention? Do you mind if I?
But we have, if he puts something, let's say on Facebook, and he puts it under some privacy
It will
setting.
not reach. It will not reach you. Veggie wallet. Go email.
BLOVITT@gmail.com.
This would be not really for yourself. It would be more for other people.
And I wonder if other people would find it.
Well, you can do that too.
That'd be interesting.
See, it found your Twitter immediately. It found your website. It found the RSS feed for your website. So now we'll get all the news from your website automatically. Right here.
That is so creepy. That is creepy.
All the tweets.
It's just a time saver. It's the stuff that you choose. I mean, you can hide the stuff.
Look at these pictures of you bitching.
I guess it's this all the stuff it's fine.
If you're a stalker, it's a great time saver.
Okay, so the goal of showing this to fellows, this is the last balcony comment and then I have to write. The goal of showing this to fellows is what? Remember, everything you put online stays online. You cannot erase something that's once it's online fully. You can try, it's not always fully erased. If you don't want something known about you, do not put it online. You cannot stress this enough. If there's something that you value is your secrecy, don't put it online ever. The second thing is, this is a very useful tool for fellows who want to see who they're meeting up with. As entrepreneurs, they meet a lot of people. Many people give them the card to really want to meet up with. A lot of time you want to check if this person is for real or if this person just talks a lot and isn't very relevant. So this is a good way to see what they've recently done. Also, because you get a lot of contacts, it's hard to keep track of everybody, so you tend to forget people. This way, you can see what the people have been doing recently, and when you talk to them, hey, remember me? Day 3, oh, I heard you were doing the ROI Community President Facilitator training. Vegas? That's okay. Anyway, I can see you doing the presidents. How was that? It's also a conversation starter. It's a really good thing. It also works for organizations. Under companies, you can do the very same thing with organizations. For instance, present tense. And you can see everybody who you know from present tense. recent articles about that organization, all the people who work there, the photos, and so on.
It will use the like the corporate email of present tense to look at everyone.
Yes.
So we show you broadly everyone.
Yes.
Okay.
Everybody who has a public presence.
Okay.
If there's nothing written about me and my email doesn't appear in public into documents, it will not show. Okay, guys. To wrap it up, which I'm already late. 5 rules to live by to build presence, which is what we're talking about. Be your brand conscious. Don't do something your brand won't do. If you are, I'm thinking if I should use this example. Okay, whatever. If you're, no, I'm not going to use that example. For instance, some of the jokes that I have taught today, I would not put on my Facebook feed in the work setting. And some of the things that I post on my Facebook, again, this is separate between your brand, what you would like to be perceived as, and what you're, if you're doing something that's inappropriate, make sure it's privacy setting private enough. And if you really want to keep it secret, don't put it online. Don't sell, share, which is what we talked about. Provide value rather than sell. Don't be the Herbalife or whatever marketing thing. You don't want to be that person. Show a human side, but not too much. Oh, look at this, I'm having fun in this school conference, it's great. Oh my god, my girlfriend dumped me, I've been crying for the weekend, is less relevant. Again, showing the human side is great. Think about how you do it correctly.
Suicide is fun.
Yeah, stuff like that. Write well, no slang unless it's a tool. So for instance, if it's something requires slang, and I'm trying to think about something, I don't know.
If you're a hip hop label,
right? If you're a hip hop label,
then you should use slang because that's your target audience.
And the last thing is commit, guys. Please commit, which is what we're talking about. If you're not sure you can commit to writing the thing, don't start it. If you can't commit to write a blog, don't write a blog. If you can't tweet every now and then, don't tweet. Once you put an online presence, it only has value if you constantly update it. If you don't intend to constantly update it, don't put it up. Okay, guys. Good luck. I have to run.
Oh, wait, before you go, a question. Will you give us all, like, all the sites that you showed us?
It's all in the presentation.
Okay.
Yes.
Just search for it.
Bye, guys.
Bye. Such a whirlwind. Bye. Do you guys want some time to like play around with tools?
Wait a minute, I have one message to explain about
SEO.
Oh,
I mean, it's all say in one sentence, it's just a whole session.
yes.
Well, look, so he said at the beginning, the most important thing, like, this is like a phrase, like, it's said out there, like, content is king, he said that. So why is it king? Because it's all about Google. Like, if you write something, if somebody goes home and writes a blog post or anything about, like, present tense SocialStart training, if he writes, like, present tense SocialStart training, if anybody Googles that, your blog will probably come out. Like, how many people on the internet are talking about present tense? So, you know, if you write about things, not only are you putting it there for people to read on your website, but people can find them through Google. Like, people may be looking for, they may not even know about you. They may be, I don't know, someone may be interested in, you know, the homeless problem in Israel, or in Tel Aviv or something. And then if you've written about that on your site, they'll find it. They may not even know who you are, but that's how they find you in the first place. So that's it. I mean, content is king, but it's because of Google. And if someone Googles something, yeah.
Well, no, I mean, what? No, content is, they're kind of two separate things. Content is king, it's irrelevant of whether it's searched or not. Content is king because that's the value you're providing to your consumers. It has nothing to do with search. But in your content, make sure that the terminology that you use, everything should be searchable. And always be careful that the words you're using, in the same way that in business you're using buzzwords, think about those. Be conscious of those and cognizant of those buzzwords that you use when you're writing, because those are the things that are going to be more easily searched and picked up. Basically.
So, in 30 seconds, we need a pair session, right?
Alright, well you guys can take some time to either explore these tools with each other, take a break, say like 20 minutes.
Punch my eyes out.
Yes.
I would love to change it.
Oh my god, I had such a hard time with that.
Okay.
You guys, if I want to get ours,
Okay, so go to the bottom, go back to ours. Go to the very bottom. Scroll all the way down, which is actually bad placement for it.
יש לך לא רואים כלום.
So the very, very bottom, there's going to be some logo for the artist. It'll be appearing. Still loading.
And exactly what
There it is. So everything's on the 20. And she then asks you if you want to. Why don't you write you should be able to search for search creator, search for It's just a very I just want to say it's you, not me. Okay, that's very interesting. This is a very hard session to teach, and I would recommend a completely different structure for teaching digital tools than this. This is a bad one. Because you look at how we... It's too interactive. There's no way that you can talk about something. People want a big-ass surface screen. You're right. And that's true. But also people are going to want to ask questions immediately. They don't want to wait till the end with something because they need to understand how it works right there. So there needs to be, I think there's too much in here. In both sessions, there's way too much to be able to have enough ample time for people to ask questions and thoroughly explain it. If your audience is somebody who doesn't know. And if it's an audience that does know, you should talk to them in the very beginning and change what you're doing.
It's a lot of
Well, it depends though, because the low price.
Today we're going to do things like share.
This should not be 2 sessions. This should be like, you know, a meeting once a week or once a month.
Computers and the computer.
Yeah.
Show.
But the only way to do that is that everyone's computers have to be the same usually. And you have to, it's not like a program that is, I don't know why. African imports but you want to always make sure that Africa and so Israel's imports and Africa. Otherwise, I don't know if that's the alphabet. Yeah. So this way, anytime Israel and Africa is mentioned the same, then and the quotes basically means it's differentiating the word from the non-quote. Right. So that's international development in quotes and these are called strings. So strings are a series of words that are linked together that are usually encapsulated in quotations. It's the exact same. Twitter is one of those things. I used to tweet personally, and then I realized that I had nothing really worthwhile to say on on Twitter, so I stop my tweet professionally all the time. And I use Hootsuite to schedule the tweet. It's impossible once you have a staff of people. Like, I mean, a full staff dedicated just to social media. It is impossible to manage and maintain all of that. We're trying to get a few interns like that whose sole job is to have personal relationships with their followers. So they have personalized messages back and forth to build a relationship. Because you can't do it. It is, yeah, and it's mind-blowing. That's the way that works. I mean, hopefully, we're not
Okay, no. Apparently, I'm already subscribed to this.
Oh my God, love.
Yeah.
But I don't get it.
I
mean, where would I get my email?
No, it would only be in your Google Reader, unless you set up an alert. Oh. There's only one judgment, but he left. So go to more.
That's why we have your
So there's Reader. And so that's where all your stuff. Yeah, normally I would say that there's something called like iGoogle. But iGoogle is being phased out in 2 years, so don't do that.
Okay, wait.
Yeah, and I use it because to me it's the easiest way to, for me, lay out all the information on a page. But iGoogle is being phased out in 2013.
About black or just Google.com, the most.
Yeah, it is. I like to still. I have customized things, which some of these news sites would never appear naturally. Like on Google, and on Google Home, you can now do it too. But I'm used to iGoogle. I need to fix that now. And if anyone has a Google Plus account, I don't know if it's useful here. But it's the biggest waste of everything in the States. It's a waste. It's terrible. There's no reason for it.
I know. I checked that one out. I got it 2 years ago, and that's awesome.
Yeah, but does anybody use it?
No. It's so advanced, but it's so good.
But no one will be using it because everyone's using Facebook.
Well, that depends. I mean, I know guys are saying, tech you guys say it's going to be really big in a year from now.
Google Plus? Oh, they said that a long time ago. I think the only...
It's like Google Buzz. Google Buzz is like total.
Yeah. No, there are a few things that are really... I think Google Plus is only value right now is the Google Hangouts.
Hangouts, right?
What's the number?
They have like this new advanced tool.
That's just where you're on air, Google. Yeah, but aside from that, I find it's
the thing with Google, I have a lot of my stuff in Google Calendar.
Well, I use everything for Google.
Yeah, so I have photos of Picasso Web, and I would also integrate with the Google Plus Photo. So the thing with it, the good thing with it is it takes all the services you already use.
Right. Except for one.
Yeah.
Which is social media.
All the Google services you already use, and contemplate it together and try to make something up.
But to start from scratch, building your social media platform on Google Plus versus when you're already using Facebook.
Yeah.
It's one of those things. It does, but it's becoming unavoidable. Like you can't really avoid it anymore. Facebook, even if you hated it.
Yeah. And there was a nice issue of people that just left Facebook half a year ago.
Yeah.
Like mini trends.
Yeah, I saw that, but then there was a joke that like on Google Plus you can hear crickets. You know that phrase? It's another social media thing that isn't really working.
I joined all those things, but never done.
Yeah, it's not working.
Michael says if anyone has a question, you can address it on Facebook or email.
I think he blocked me.
Even you.
Really? He said he doesn't like me.
Did he send that to everybody? Is that an email?
No, I never just to him. He's his favorite.
You sent your text.
I didn't know him.
I like that.
No, I know him from my life. To get on ROI. last year.
So tell him.
Nice person, but he does. He doesn't do anything. So they tell him.
I feel bad because it's a very hard class to fit into. And I'm sorry.
Excuse me if I won't.
I'm sorry if it seemed like I was being disrespectful. I never meant that.
You did not see this.
But I know he was really frustrated. But he said you need to be very loose. And I wonder if he's like this, like that. He's very I'm not going to say what I was going to say.
This specific material came more
well, I think the maybe it's just teach. It's about and do this. It's really difficult.
I think if we were better than the
No. This was equally a mess. This is equally a mess as the first time, and even if we were perfect the first time, we still would have had the same result.
No, I always speak it up important of getting scoring, as a means to get your presentation. But now you can do
Wait. So let's bring this back to Moses. So this was like that. Yes. So if you search Moshe would use Twitter, understand a few words, and I'm the wrong one who wants to go on Facebook or he would go off links.
You're my friend.
Then you recommend it to other people. So you can ask your friend as a reference.
So it's like being there, but the activity is not on the side.
It's more interactive. It's more like passive.
So, tweeting there and
that's really good for like searching for jobs. That's it.
That would have been weird. טוב, מה, אני חוזר היום נשמח אולי לעשות טוב, לא יודע, מחר משהו.
תגידי, מחר, אם אני חוזרת את הליגה שלנו, אני חושבת שעדיף שמפה אני אקח מונית ונכנע, או לתמכון,
רגע, שנייה.